What's up, guys? Johnny Glock here. Happy Friday and happy beginning to your Memorial Day weekend. Listen, I said I had an announcement, and it's a really big one. But first I want to give a little history and introduction here. I started working with Andy Bell of Ranger Proof Gear about the summer of 2019. We put out a trigger shoe together. It was called the JG flat face for me, and on his side it was called the Task Force Ranger. And after that we put out another one. It's called the Hybrid, and it was really cool looking. It had some success, but we always wanted to really sit down and collaborate on a shoe, and for real with a CAD designer and all that stuff. And that's what this video is about. So basically, a couple months ago I went up there to Georgia, where Ranger Proof is, and we sat down with a highly skilled engineer and CAD guy. His name's Matt Johnson. He is going to be known very well for making some very cool guns in Hollywood. That's as much as I can say about it. But anyway, Matt was there, and he pulled the CAD up, and we just rolled up our sleeves and we went to work. And the idea that I had was, if any of you guys know me, I hate flat face shoes. I never liked them. They were never my cup of tea. And I never wanted to put the time in to kind of, acclimate to one, because if it's not broken, why fix it? And I had been shooting a Glock shoe for 25 years, and my finger was just really used to the curved shoe. And that's that. I took the time to, learn to shoot with a red dot, because for me that really made sense. It was worth taking the time to learn to reacclimate to that and to acquire with a red dot sight. But as far as the flat face shoe, I was kind of like, I'll design them for my customers because everyone loves them. But then I was just never really into them. But what I was into is, I'm into metal. I like the actuation of a metal shoe and how it has a nice rigid transfer, because there's a transfer bar on a Glock, and it's kind of like the difference between a belt drive and a chain drive. Polymer shoe has kind of like that forgiving belt drive feel, and the metal shoe has a nice chain drive. You have immediate transfer, and that's something that I really wanted in a trigger, kind of like a 1911 or a bolt gun or something like that. So basically what we designed is the best of both worlds, and it is called the VEX. And the reason it's called the VEX is because it is a convex profile. I'm not even going to call it a flat face, because it doesn't really have a flat face. It has a convex face. So if you could zoom down here, I wanted to, right here, so here's your standard flat face, all right? And, most of the flat faces have the chunkier, thicker safety, which I really didn't like that much either, because, when you go to purchase and you come around that shoe right there, it has a little pointiness to it. I know, I'm a sissy, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I was so used to the curved shoe that, I just could never get acclimated to that. So what I decided to do was take both of these and create something like that. So if you can see the morphing of these two into this shoe, that is the VEX. And it is a convex face metal shoe. It is not flat. There is an apex to it. So basically what we take is the profile, kind of like the profile of that curved shoe, and actually the thinness of the blade too, and I'll explain that, and put that on this type of, I don't want to say chassis, but, this on this medium, and we created what I think is going to be the baddest shoe on the market, because it's a total different feel. Once people start using these and feeling the difference in between the changes that we've made and why we've made them, because a lot of talk and stuff goes into this. We just don't willy-nilly throw stuff out there. We really wanted to put something out that was going to knock it through the park, and this actually, in my opinion, is going to change the way people think about flat face shoes. We're going to pull them over to the dark side, back to the Glock side of things. So I just want to talk a little bit about the some of the things that we did with the shoe in comparison. Like I said, with this shoe, over time, with the safety, you would get an opening up here, so there'd be more of a gap back here, and that would, that means you would have to disengage more. It would take longer to disengage, and if you see the time from here to here, it is quite a bit of time to disengage that trigger safety tab. It's a certain design. Does it pose a problem? No, it's sort of a subjective thing. You know, I've sold tons and tons and tons of these, so people actually love this shoe for what it's worth. But for me, I always wanted something that had a longer, shorter blade, kind of like the Glock safety is, because when I press it down, I want it to actuate immediately. I want this just gone. I want it gone. You know what I mean? So basically, as you can see, the difference of these two profiles, they're extremely different. All right, so that was one of the things. The other thing was, you know, with these shoes, you know, we had a design where, you know, and you have to kind of do this. There's a, you know, there's a hole for the spring to go into for the trigger safety tab. And then this hole goes into another hole that's inside the shoe. Okay, now, you know, when Chelsea, who's filming, consequently, builds these, there is a little bit of grease put in both of these, so we actually don't ever have to worry about bind and stuff like that. But sometimes you do. Sometimes it's just a natural consequence of having a compression spring. Click, 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 click. And I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There's the flat face fixes video that I put out, showed you how to address that. So that was like another thing. Like it's not a deal breaker, but if I can prevent it, why not? So basically, we changed that out to, and I'm going to grab one of the prototypes right here so you can see. Well, actually, I'll grab one of the ones we have. So now what we have inside is it's a better placement, I believe, for the spring. And instead of a hole, we have a notch. And as you can see, the notch has a little bit more surface area cut out there. So basically, when this is put together and it's moving back and forth, I can't create it because there's not a fulcrum in there. When it's moving back and forth like this, it has wiggle room and there's no bind on top to bottom. You just don't feel it. And believe me, we've been testing the living whatever about, I don't want to say that word, the living out of these. You know, and everyone that shot them has been like, it really is incredible. You don't feel it like you feel a flat face shoe, and you don't feel it like you feel the curved shoe. It's really, 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 I'm telling you, I rarely impress myself, but I tell you what, I impressed myself this time. That's how incredible this shoe is. Another thing that we did, and you know, we did put a stop in here. I don't think I talked about that. We just talked about the gap that opened up there. I think I just got ahead of myself and didn't show the difference in between this and this right here. And this is something I would like you to get a close up on. So right inside there, if you're looking at that ledge, we put a stop right there. So basically, this is never going to walk any further forward than that, which is a great thing for consistency. So basically, we put the same shelf on the back there, so it's bilaterally stopping. It's great for consistency. It's great for safety. Of course, this is your first line of safety right here is your trigger safety tab. So you always want that to have a great spring and a great, and you know, great actuation and all that kind of stuff. Of course, once again, we made, like I said, we made it thinner. I wanted it more like the Glock shoe, and we did the etching on there. That was Andy's idea. I wish it would have been mine, but back in the day, he threw that on one of the shoes, and it was just, we were never going back. No one else does it. We got two things going on here. Like, this is the first time anything like this has been made, and actually, Andy was the first person to do etching, laser etching on the face of a shoe. So, you know, there are, you know, I think decent innovations that we're doing here. The set screws are a big plus that everyone tends to like, because this way, when you're doing cleaning, or if you want to change it out or something like that, it's pretty much a no fuss. You know, when you get these, they come with the, you know, with the stainless steel hex wrench and the screw. When you get them from the shop from us on an Evolution kit or something like that, they are Loctited in there, so you don't have to worry about that. And speaking of the Evolution kits, you know, I'm going to keep the same kit. It's just going to be a shoe change, because I don't think you can improve upon that combat. I might call it something different, I don't know, but it is application specific. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, and I really don't believe there's any improving on the Evolution X Combat. But what it is, and what I'm going to extend here, is since we are unveiling the shoe and it's going to be live on the website tonight, for any existing customer that owns an Evolution X, or even, you know, we have the databases and stuff like that. It is 2022. We have the ability to do this. So basically, my internet marketing consultant has is teasing away all the people that have bought the full kits before in the shoes. And so for Memorial Day, what I'm offering is a very, very healthy discount and free shipping for anyone that currently owns a Johnny Glock Evolution kit, whether it's a flat base shoe or a standard shoe, or you just bought the shoe and shoe in a bar. Either way, you're gonna get the email. It's gonna come to you. There's gonna be a certain code there for y'all to use. And I am going to have kind of a Memorial Day sale as well. I think it might just be free shipping or something like that. But, I wanted to extend to you guys because, it really is one of those upgrades that, everyone that I've shown this to that has the JG flat base was like, I love this thing. This thing's awesome. Who would have known? So I wanted to offer that to you guys. So make sure those emails will be going out later this evening, and you'll get your codes, and you'll be able to, I wouldn't say upgrade that shoes. We can just change it up. That's a spice of life. But this thing is just beyond my expectations of how I thought it was going to work. We did shorten up the pocket in here, so basically you're going to have a shorter reset. It will work with any connector. It's not going to bottom out, so 3.0, 3.5. Anything like that will work. Also, same thing with the front of the pocket. We designed it to minimize the pre-travel to the maximally safe distance. So basically, that with this shoe, you're never going to have to worry about the vertical extension starting to engage upon your upon your firing pin safety. For those of you that know what I'm talking about, these are the safeties that we're talking about. So the design of this shoe will always keep the perpendicular bar of the cruciform on the drop shelf, so it will be drop safe in the housing. The trigger safety tab is always going to be engaged because the way it's designed, and the pre-travel it's all consistent. They're all corresponding with one another. So basically, this will never touch engage. This is going to be on the drop shelf, and of course the trigger safety tab will be engaged there. So you have all three safeties of the Safe Action Glock, 100% engaged, 100% safe. And you guys just know it goes hand in hand. Anything you get from this shop, you've seen the videos. We're all here hands-on. Everything gets built by me, so it's 100% safe. I did want to show you what it looked like in a firearm. So basically, and this has a modified bar in there. So you can see there's a bit of a gap in between the trigger safety tab and the frame. It's going to sit more a little bit, it's going to give you maybe 1/8 of an inch back, but it's going to sit more like that. So, you're going to have the clearance to get the trigger safety tab disengaged, more than enough clearance, but there is a gap here. So I just want to say it is a little bit more efficient than that. You're kind of sitting about right there. I was working on some things with this, so that's a modified bar in there. So you can actually see how it sits, how it looks. We just went with a super. I'll bring it out here in the light. We just went with kind of I would just say this is a classic look, a classy look, I would say. We're all big fans of knives, so we kind of made it when I looked at this, it was kind of like a drop point, a modified drop point to this right here, which I thought was cool as well. And so you can see on this side, there's the set screws. It's just a super efficient, super ergonomic. I should read what I wrote about. This is actually what I wrote. The VEX, short for convex, is the architectural culmination of ergonomic design and functional efficiency. The objective was to conserve the pliable comfort of the stock polymer shoe while preserving the rigid actuation of a metal trigger. The design is the first of its kind, and it just has all the bullet points and stuff like that. And you can see this is the draft right here. It's the JG VEX, and I put a bunch of these pictures up just so everyone could see the pictures. So like I said, this is going to be live on the website and in a little bit, and the emails will start going out. One last thing I wanted to mention, I always get inquiries about dealer pricing and stuff like that. A lot of triggers, like I'm not going to even mention any other names, but they offer the shoe in the bar. And so that's basically what I'm going to start doing. And that's going to be it's going to be the same exact shoe, but instead of the set screws, just to get you guys a better price point, I'm going to be using press pins. Because it does, any of the into manufacturing knows it does cost a lot more to to do the set screws, and these stainless steel screws themselves are insanely expensive. So basically, Once again, high quality materials, not roll pins, not a bunch of tin garbage. It's going to be 100% stainless steel press pins. They will be arbor pressed through. They will not walk. Trust me, they will not walk. I have a 2-ton arbor press that says it's different, which Chelsea will be running.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, you know, I'm going to open up for distribution. And if you have any inquiries about that, just get a hold of me. I'm going to reach out to some guys that I know are already building that have asked in the past. So basically, expect that little call from me, guys. So, you know what? I think that's about it. I got through everything that I wanted to get through today. So, you guys just have a safe, happy holiday, and check out it on the website. And I hope you guys like the video. And remember, trigger control is control.